During this observation, I was able to administer a progress monitoring to one of our students that was in the sixth grade class that I had been observing through this course. I was able to give him the progress monitoring, which during that time I sat and looked at his previous ones to see if I could kind of get a pattern of maybe questions he was skipping or questions that were getting maybe weren't the right answer, but seeing maybe it was like a little error here or there, and trying to just get an idea of the areas that he maybe was struggling with. And once he was done with his progress monitoring, I was able to sit and score it on my own, and then compare the newest progress monitoring to his previous ones. Once I found a few questions I think I was about 3 or 4 that I wanted to go over with him, I had a one-on-one conference with him over a few questions. One in particular was question number 2, actually, on the progress monitoring. It was an addition problem. It was 3-number addition. So it had, like, the problem was laid out this way, and it was like 60 plus 4 plus 200. Something that, we may think, oh, this should be something easy to do. I wanted to kind of get an idea of kind of why he didn't even attempt to do it. Did he not understand it, or, was it something else? So that was the first one that we talked about. And when I asked him, I said, I kind of showed him the problem, and I said, so I noticed this was the problem that one of the problems that you didn't attempt on any of these progress monitoring, and kind of said, why did you not attempt this? Or what do you think about when you look at this problem? And he actually said that it was kind of scary. And I was like, that makes sense. Because sometimes, when we do addition, we're looking up and down. Well, this is a cross. So sometimes just the way that it's laid out looks different to some students. So we went through that problem, and we wrote it out, and he kind of led the discussion on how to do it. So I knew he knew how to do it, but because it was written out a different way, to him it was scary. So once we went through a couple of them and he did them and we talked about it, at the end I was like, so do you think at your next progress monitoring, this might be a question that you're going to be able to attempt to do? And he said, yeah. He said once we explained it, it wasn't so scary anymore. So that was kind of cool to be able to sit and see that sometimes our students don't answer questions, not because they don't know them, but maybe because something's a little off and it's a little confusing, or in this case, it was a little scary because of just the way that it was written. So to really get to sit down and see, really understand, is it because they don't understand it, or is it something else? And I think that really goes back to building that relationship with our students, getting to know them, getting to understand, when they look at something, how do they feel? What does it make them feel? So really being able to do that. We went through a couple other questions that he'd skipped, or actually the next few questions he actually did attempt, but it was little things, like a thermometer. They're listed, the temperature's listed in tens, and the answer was 55. And we just kind of talked about how, it's listed in 10 increments, but in between is a 5. So between 50 and 60 is 55. Just kind of talked about that a little bit. So the one thing I really got out of this whole observation for this class was how important it is to build that relationship with your students, instead of just assuming that they don't know it, or that they're not attempting it because they're lazy. But there's other things that are behind it, that little things that maybe it just looks different, so it's confusing, or just breaking it down and really getting to know them. I learned so much through this class, and I'm so excited to take what I've learned and put that into my future class. And the biggest thing is building relationships. Thank you.